Hi, boys and girls, it's Mrs. Himmelho. I'm here to teach you about fractions and art and how in art math is often used to help create the art. When you do shapes and you talk about form and symmetry, those are things that are both related to math and to art. So this week, my kindergarten and first grade friends, we are going to incorporate art and math by using fractions of a whole of a piece of paper to make animals and objects. So our goal is to be able to identify and model one whole, which let me grab that. So one whole circle, and we are also going to be able to identify a half a circle. And our first graders, if not our kindergartners, will also identify 1/4. And if you look at this piece, it would take 4 of these to make a whole. So that's one, it would be 1 of 4 pieces to make this whole. So that's what we're looking at this week. Now to do this project, you are going to probably need, if you have it, remember, if you don't have it, we'll make do with what we have. So construction paper, lined paper, white lined paper if you have it, pencil, crayons, markers, glue, scissors. Whatever kind of paper you can find around the house. So I want you to be able to make simple shapes to form larger shapes. To make something decorative and to make a collage by cutting paper and gluing it down to create something. Pardon me. We're going to be trying to do 2 things, and this goes with the lessons that I have on the art website. We are going to try to make a big chocolate chip cookie with chocolate chips. And if you're feeling more daring, you can make a pizza, and the pizza will be divided into 4. So that's our little red hen who wanted to make a pizza. None of her friends would help. So I'm also going to have 2 links for you to click on so that you can see pictures of this and hear the story of the little red hen, and then you can also hear a story called Give Me Half. Sorry, where a brother and sister are sharing pizza, and they have to cut it in half and share it equally. Of course, everybody wants an equal piece. All right, let's see. So I have the 2 links. First of all, so to do this, what I did, if you're doing a cookie, the cookie is a little easier of the 2. So you can get white lined paper or construction paper. I took a small plate, traced around it, and then I took, and this was on brown construction paper, but if you don't have construction paper, take a crayon, color it brown, take a marker, make it brown, or leave it white if that's all you have. And then with your pencil, you can make chocolate chips or a black marker. You can be so bold as to make little construction pieces. That would take a while, but you could do it. And then what I did is I took my whole cookie, I folded in half, and when I opened it, I cut a straight line on the fold. Now I have 2 pieces. We call this, pardon me, we call this 1/2 and 1/2. So 2 halves make a whole. Okay, 1/2, 1/2. And then at the bottom, I'd like you to write a little something. So I wrote, I divided my cookie, trying to get this there. I divided my cookie in half and shared it with, and then you would write a name of somebody. So if you could do that, that would be great. And then my kindergarten friends, you could send this picture, take a picture on your phone, send it to your teacher, and I can have a look at it. I would love to see it. And then you can show that you understood how to make 1/2 of a cookie. Now, if you're really feeling brave and you want to try something a little more daring, you could try our pizza. Now for this one, I taped or glued 2 pieces of white paper together. It ended up getting much bigger than I thought. You can do the red hen or not do the red hen. The point is to show force on your pizza. Pardon me. So I took a plate and I traced the brown. A smaller plate, I traced the yellow. Then I glued the yellow onto the brown. So that's your crust, that's your cheese. And I have some construction paper at home, so then I drew little circles. You could do a quarter or some kind of cap, and I made pepperoni. And then I added green peppers, so that's just strips of green. And I didn't have green, so I used a marker on white and then just cut little pieces of paper. And these little things are supposed to be mushrooms, and I just colored them with a gray-brown. So you could put onion on yours, you could, whatever toppings you like, draw them on, put them on. Now, here's how you show halves and fourths. So again, if pretending this piece was my pizza, you're going to take your pizza and you're going to fold it in half. So you can, and if at this point, if you want to, you could fold it in half again. And then that would be your fourths, and you can open it up and then cut on this straight line and this straight line, or you can open it up and cut it in half, and then once you have your halves, then you can fold those in half and open them up and then cut horizontally. So you're going to want one cut vertically and one cut horizontally. Then you will have your 4 pieces of pizza. Now I put a little space between I'm trying to decide where to put these. I put a little space between my pizza so you can see that so that people can see how it's in 4 pieces. And if I were to put these two together, these two together are 1/2. And these two together are 1/2, but individually they're 1/4. 4 fours make the whole. Here's what I'd like you to write. I divided my pizza into fourths and shared it with, who would you share your pizza with? If you want to do the hen, all I did is grab a piece of red paper. I did like a big U shape upside down, a big letter N maybe, and cut that out. And then the hat is kind of like a rectangle with an oval, the chef hat. Then I did 2 white eyes with black pupils, and you could do a triangle beak, or you could do a rhombus, or a diamond beak and fold it over to make it more 3D. And then you have your project. Take a picture, send it to your teacher so I can see it. I can usually see the things you upload to Class Dojo. And if you can't do that, I was just thinking, if you did a project and you left it in the book bin at Bunch, I bet Miss London would bring it in so that I could collect it or somehow get it. Maybe I'd get it somehow. So that would be super awesome if I could see your artwork. Now, for my 2nd and 3rd graders, it's similar but different. It always gets a little more complicated, more difficult because of the age and maturity. So for my 2nd and 3rd graders, you are also going to divide shapes and circles into equal parts, halves, thirds, and fourths. And you have to show those areas as a fraction. So you guys are also going to have to write like 1/2 and 1/3 and 1/4. You have to show the fraction. And then you are going to create animals and objects with fractional parts to a whole. So you'll want construction paper or white line paper, whatever you have at home, crayons or markers, pencils, scissors, and glue. And again, so I was discussing how math is used in art, symmetry, which we did talk about last year a bit, and patterns, and I think I have a mistake on my lesson, but anyway. And also, you guys will be learning about the numerator, which is a fancy word for the number on top, and denominator, fancy word for the number on the bottom, and that's the dividing line. So this is 1/2 of a whole. So here's your other half, right? So here's a whole circle. Here's 1/2, 1/2. 2 halves make a whole. Okay, continuing on. I also have a video for the 3rd grade lesson, and if you would like to watch it, you can. It's called Give Me Half. It's a book, and it's read, it's audio, and you can look at that. You might enjoy that. It might help you. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to want something small, like a coffee cup. Let me get this right. A coffee cup, or some small bowl. I had like a very small ceramic bowl, and you will want to draw 4 circles, because you want a whole circle. You want 1 for 2 halves, and you want 1 that you can make into 4ths, and then you want another one that you can make into 8ths. If I could turn this around. So these are 8ths. So 4 circles. 1 is going to be a whole circle. 1 is going to have 2 halves. 1 is going to have 4ths, and 1 will have 8ths. So this is a picture. I'm going to have this uploaded with my lesson. So let me back this up so you can see it better. So look, you got your whole, halves, 4th, and 8th. I'm going to make sure I send this to Miss London Monday, so that maybe it'll be part of a packet, and then you could do this art project by simply coloring these in, cutting them on the dark line, and then you can create your animal or object. And I'll also see if she could send one of these out, so then after you color these and cut them out, you can put them on here. Now, if you have construction paper, you can just go right to it and start making your animal or your object. So I want to show you some of the examples this is the one I made, and I did kind of copy some of the things I saw on the internet. So I made a bird and a flower and a sun. Now what I'd like to see my 2nd and 3rd graders do is to name the fraction, name the piece or part. So I have 1/2 for the body, 1/4 for the head, 1/8 for the beak, and 1/8 for the tail. Then down below I wrote my bird has 1/2, 1/4, and 2/8, 1, 2. I made a flower with 2 different colors, and these are 8ths. And I didn't have green, so I just drew that shape, like I traced the shape and colored it in. And so now my flower has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6/8 to make the flower. And my sun is 1/2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5/8. So if you could write your fractions, I think that's going to help you understand and to learn fractions are part of a whole. Then you can go ahead, I'm trying to back up, or you can add some detail. Again, please take a picture. Take a picture, see if you can send it to your teacher. And if you can't, if you put your name, your grade, and your teacher's name on your artwork, maybe you could just put it in the book bin, and then I can somehow come and get it, or at bunch. Okay, we'll see what we can work out. Love to see it. Some other examples of other children's artworks. Now this isn't mine, but I love the crab, so that's a 1/2 with 8ths. Now you can add some little straight lines for the eyes and arms. We have a jellyfish, a jellyfish with a 1/2 and 8ths. We got a fish with 1/2, 2/4, and 8ths, and this I believe is a turtle. And let me show you one more. These are just some pictures that I thought were really, really cute. So we have a tulip, which is a 1/2, and then 2/4, and then they drew the bottom pieces, the stem and the leaves. And then I think this is another rooster. Really awesome. And last but not least, I'll show you this one because this is kind of what I copied. Anyway, as you can see, you can come and don't feel like you have to do these designs. Come up with your design. It could be an alien, a robot, a car. I just want to see you make some circles, come up with equal parts, and then also come up with some fractions. Practice your fractions. And let's see if there's anything else I'd like to add. I think mostly just that we miss all of you, and just keep in mind, that if you don't have the paper at home, I'll see if I can get Miss London to make these, and then you can take them home and create something and then bring them back and put them in the book box or book bin. So I hope when you're done you can name a half, name a fourth, and name a sixth. Or if you're a kindergartner or first grade, you can at least name one half and maybe one fourth. So I hope to see you next week, and I'll try to have another awesome art lesson for you. Okay? Bye.